Hey everybody, welcome back to Why Ask Why. It is October 3rd and I've been out for a couple of days just because apparently we have had internet problems for the last 3 days. Um, so I figured, hey, let's do a new video. So I know you guys hopefully watched the last couple of videos I did. The last one was about fate. Um, so now we're getting to 2020 and so I guess we'll start it off. So 2020, so the last video, I think we had moved to Florida by our, spirit, sure, the Holy Spirit, our guide said, hey, get out, go, move now. So, what we did, so we moved, and finished up my job. Last day of my job was the 1st of January. So, I had insurance for our little one that was going to be born in January. So she was born, and that was end of January. Going on with life, changing diaper, the normal stuff you would do when you have a baby. So February, just really I figured, the next couple months we're just gonna spend time with the family, the kids, just have a good time, just relax, and that's all looking for a job. So in that process, probably between January and March, me and my wife had discussed moving back to Tennessee just because she had a relative that was ill and she wanted to spend some more time with her. So I started applying for jobs back in probably February, early March for positions up there. Actually, I had 2 lined up, and was setting up interviews to go interview with the 2 companies. And apparently we had a virus come along. And that was mid-March. I had an interview lined up. We were going to go to Tennessee, or I was going to go to Tennessee for an interview. Or it may have been an online interview. Didn't get to that point. So virus hit. China virus came in, for lack of a better word. Virus came in. Everybody was, what's going to happen? What's this virus? What's this virus? So all the companies that I had applied with said, no, let's hold off for a minute. Let's see what's going on. We were going to go up there to have a birthday party for one of my little ones, and everything was apparently they just shut it down. So we ended up making the trip to Tennessee, and in that aspect, in that time, my wife's relative had passed away, so we didn't really make a trip up there for that, just because nobody knew what was going on. It was a big to-do about, oh, we can't go anywhere because it's going to spread like wildfire. So that was March, really when all the craziness hit. So, we were a little standoffish a little bit. A big virus, same thing a few years ago, H1N1, all these different flus, viruses that have come along during, if you guys look back, the big flus, viruses have come around about the same time as any other presidential election, or any big, any big election. So we didn't really travel. We didn't go anywhere. Stayed home. Just really went outside, stayed at home, did some walks here and there. In the meantime, news is hammering, just hammering. It's like, oh, this is the worst thing. Oh, everybody's gonna get this. Oh, it's the worst thing. Blah 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 blah. After a while, started thinking, it's like, it's a virus. You get it, you get through it. It's fine. In that time, I actually had a couple relatives that came down with it, and they got over it. They were younger. So I also had a couple relatives in their 70s, 80s that got it. One passed away probably. They had her on a ventilator. So yeah, so the virus. A lot of people think it's a fake thing. Some people think it's a real thing. And they started mandating masks. Put on a mask. The first thing when that happened, you got Trump made a team of people to help the COVID team, talking about, oh, there's going to be a vaccine, we need to figure out what's going on. Fauci came in and said, oh, we don't need to wear masks because they don't work. It's more of a placebo effect. And then a month, probably a few weeks, a month down the road, oh, let's wear masks because that'll help. Well, if you notice, I had a picture. I posted this on the Facebook page. On the box of the mask, it says it does not stop any kind of virus. It doesn't prevent it. Nothing. So I'm like, why do I want them? Masks there haven't been tested. So I was like, I'm not wearing a mask. There's no way I'm not wearing a mask. If it's and the social distancing. I gotta stay 6 feet away from somebody because they can shoot 6 feet. You sneeze, you cough, it's going. Somebody's gonna get it. I'm like, seriously, come on. People need your common sense. Really, it's like, you've got the flu, you've got the cold. I worked in a place where somebody's always getting sick. I want to have the flu or the cold, and as long as you either stay away from the person stay at home. You wash your hands if you touch something that they touch. I mean, it's common sense. It's just nothing new. So here we are, October, still battling the. We got to flatten the curve. It's going to take 14 days to flatten the curve. 6 months later, where are we at? We're in Florida. Governor DeSantis has lifted the mask mandate, so to speak, for the restaurants and bars, things like that. But you still see people walking around, driving a car with a mask on in Florida's 100-degree weather. You see, we were driving down the road the other day, saw a younger couple had ambulance had stopped by and helped them with their breathing because I guess they had passed out. So I don't know where people's common sense is. Like, you're in your own car, take off the mask. Walking down the street, take off the mask. But here's the thing. I say that, and I'll go back to my first video where it comes back to the media. And I hope you guys have turned off the TV, but I'm sure some of you probably haven't. Stop watching the news. Like I said, there are other platforms out there that you can watch that will actually give you the truth instead of instilling fear. That's the thing. Yeah, so that's the thing that the media wants to instill fear. They want to keep you guys afraid. They figure, hey, you keep these guys fearful of a virus. That if you guys go back when that first came out with the virus back in March, the CDC and the WHO, they downgraded it to nothing but more than the common flu, common cold. And you can go to the website, look it up. So that's what people don't want to do. They don't want to do the research. They don't want to ask questions. They want to settle for what the news tells them. I've never wanted to settle for just what people tell me. I've got to go and check it out for myself. Ask questions. I've always asked questions, even when you think, people say there's no stupid questions. Well, there's not, because if you want to know, you ask. Like I said, I've always asked questions. Nobody's going to tell me what to do with my own body. Just that's not happening. Um, I don't get the flu shot. Why would you want to put an active virus, uh, flu virus in your system? I've never got that from why people do that. And my wife's family, they do that, and they get sick. They get the flu every year. They get it, and they get sick. Um, and one thing, and I say this, and it's not to belittle anybody, but one of my pet peeves, and it's always been, and I'll say this in the last couple of videos, is I'm all about protecting the kids. And when you put a mask on a kid, on a child who doesn't know any better, you don't do the research to see if the mask actually works, what the side effects are of the mask. You're hurting your child, and that is one of my biggest pet peeves. And it's not, again, it's the fear that the media and the people are instilling in you because of the virus. The virus, do your research. But the virus is, again, common cold. Of course, there are respiratory issues that some people have had when having this, but others have had mild side effects of the, as even Trump says, the cold. So again, do your research. There was videos when it first came out. There were videos people were putting out of, what kind of CO2 levels are in that mask, because you're breathing in your own germs. So when you breathe, you're breathing out. That's what your body's supposed to do. Your body's supposed to breathe out to release the toxins in your body. But when you're breathing out into the mask. And then you're breathing in, you're breathing the toxins back in your body. But yeah, there's videos out there that have been since taken down from YouTube or blocked that people were testing. There's a certain level, I think it was like 1,000, was like the max level that you could have without it really detrimental to your health. So they had done some tests with a kid, with an adult, and kids. I think they were over 20,000. And I know some people. My wife, she's had to go into the doctor's office. She's had to wear one, and she gets lightheaded and has headaches. So think about that. If you have to wear that every day, all day, and if you're at school, at work, what does that do to your body? So part of the thing that there's everybody's talking about, there's there's a Democrats, Republicans, there's good and evil. There's a plan that Bill Gates or the deep state, whatever you want to call it, they want people to, they want to clean the planet of, they only have a certain amount of people on the planet. Do your research. It's there. I'm not making this stuff up. I don't make stuff up. Yeah, there's a, my friend had shown me this. There's some stones in Georgia, and I can't exactly remember what it's called, but there's stones in Georgia that talk about the depopulation of Earth, which a lot of the elites out there, they want to do this because they want to have power over the people. Technically, we the people have the power. We elect the officials in the government. We have the power. We tell them how we want the government to run, not the other way around. They can't tell us, hey, you need to wear this mask, or you have to do this, you have to do that. That's not happening. I'm gonna tell you right now, like the sign says, I'm not gonna censor myself. It's just, a lot of people they aren't using their common sense. So I'm thinking, okay, this is part of being in the matrix. They want you to be afraid. I want you to have fear for what's the unknown. Because people don't want to do the research. They want to look stuff up. They just want to go by what the media tells them or a doctor tells them. But, you go back and look, they denounce. There's a handful of doctors that say, oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is going to hurt you. This is going to kill you. Make sure you wear a mask. Make sure you social distance. And the other doctors, a lot of doctors who aren't afraid of losing their job, or aren't afraid of the powers that be, the elites. They'll tell you, it's easily remedied. There's drugs out there that will help you cure this. Vitamin D. We when this came out, here, think about this. When you are when this came out, they want you to social distance, they want you to do this, want you to do that, wear a mask. But if you think back and just think, all the news you've watched, all the TV you've watched, have they ever once told anybody how to help your immune system? Anybody? No, they haven't. They're not going to do that because they want your immune system to get bad. And that's what I said, there's going to be a second wave. Oh yeah, there's going to be a second wave because in the winter, fall, winter months, what happens? People get sick. People get sick now. There are going to be more people who get sick because you're wearing your mask. All your immune system is now lowered because of the mask. Again, no, I'm not saying this to belittle anybody, and this comes from love. And my job is to help you guys see what's out there. What the media, I'll say the evil people, because they're evil right now. And here's the thing, it'll be in another video. But here's the thing, you've got to trust, and you got to trust in somebody. I don't know, you might not be religious, you might not be spiritual, you might don't believe in anything. It is what it is. Here's the thing, I don't. There's a passage in the Bible. I can't remember exactly where it is, but it says, "Trust no man. Put your faith in me." That's with my very first video. I've grown up. I went to church. Until I was in high school, and then you grow up and you learn your own ways. And I got away from God for a while, not for any reason particular, just I didn't particularly care for going to church, and I didn't think you had to go to church to believe or to be saved, as long as the golden rule of do unto others, and that's what I've always done. Is everybody has their moments where they slide and they say stuff or do stuff, and of course people are gonna fail, but guess what? You pray, you ask for forgiveness, and there you go. Some people think you've got to. So yeah, so that's one of the things. That's part of being in the matrix. Is fear. You are being told certain things that keep you in fear. So one of the other things that here's late. I told you guys I sold my house in Tennessee. Had it on the market for a few months, and got behind on bills. And again, guess what? That is the matrix telling. They want to keep you down. They want to keep you in fear. And that was a hard time, just because we're juggling two houses, two different states. I've always been pretty good with finances. Got behind, so again, got in fear. I told myself, I've never had problems before. And like I said, I've never been a victim. Never consider myself to be a victim, because it's part of life. You go through these events. So got through it, and I told myself, what? I'm tired of being afraid. I'm tired of being fearful. And then virus comes along. Again, fear. Was I afraid? I wasn't afraid. Something saw me. I was maybe a little bit. I wasn't afraid. It was more like, what's going on? If I get sick, I get sick. But you've got kids, so you got to worry about your kids. So it was more of being worried than fear. But again, you've got a family, so you've got to, is this real or is it not? So, and that kind of another thing, kind of the tip of the iceberg that kind of brought me to the realization that this was planned, you call it I'll say planned. It was predetermined. There you go, good word for it. It's predetermined that the virus came out when it did. Um, Now, if you think about it, this virus came out exactly right after Trump got his impeachment was over. The next day, this came out. Um, so what does that tell you? You know, it's predetermined. So when this came out, I had a friend, relative, who sent me a document, a 40-page document on the virus. And it had stats, numbers, just came from somebody overseas. And I'm thinking, why? This virus has only been out for supposedly a few weeks, a month, and there's already a 40-page document on the numbers, the stats, you know, what the curve is, what the what the stats, what the incline, the decline is going to be. And I'm a numbers guy. I read it, looked at it. I'm like, there's no way they can pull these numbers. There's no way. And that's how it get me thinking. Like, they've already got this document out, then something's not right. This has already been done. This has been predetermined, written, planned. Didn't make any sense to me. So that's what got me thinking. And then, so again, don't have a job. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna do your research. So that's what I did. And that's what other people, you see other people that on YouTube videos, Twitter, talking about the virus. And it takes you down a bunch of rabbit holes. There was a doctor, Dr. Patar. I know they call him a conspiracy theorist, which, when I say about conspiracy theorists, made up by the CIA, they want to denounce the people because most of the time it's the truth, or partly truth. And there's always a truth in conspiracy, right? So there was Dr. Patar. He started saying, "Oh yeah, this is easy curable." He's had many patients in his office. He's cured them with certain drugs. And there's other doctors, plenty of doctors now that have come out and said, "Oh yeah, this," because people are not getting, they're stop being afraid. When they came out, doctors were like, "Oh, I don't want to lose my license, and so I'm not going to speak out about it, because if I speak out about it, medical companies are going to be like, oh wait, this doctor's speaking out about it. We don't want him to speak out about it because, it'll ruin it for everybody else." And the thing we have found out, which again, do your research, it's all out there. If you have the virus at the hospitals, I can't exactly remember what it was. If they have it, if you treat them, or if they die. If people die and they're then they get like $17,000. If they die and they're on a ventilator, then, or if they use a ventilator, they get $38,000. Each hospital gets that much money. It's out there. Do your research. I'm not making this stuff up. So the hospitals benefit from people coming in with the virus. If they pass away, they benefit greatly from someone having the virus. So yeah, that was an awakening for me. And luckily, my wife, she woke up as well. But again, we had kids, so we still had to be careful, because again, not that people don't get sick. People get sick. The cold, the flu. I mean, it's flu season, cold season. People get sick. So again, you had to be careful. I know we're always careful around people, just in case we don't want our kids getting sick. When I was younger, I had a nephew who he got sick, and he was really sick, and I'm a sensitive person, and I love my nephew to death, and he got sick, and it tore me up, because I hate seeing people in pain. That's just me. And to this day, I still hate seeing people in pain. But I can't. Again, go back to my sign. I can't censor myself. I don't want to see anybody in pain. And even though you guys, hopefully you guys are waking up to the stuff that's coming out, and I really hope that you guys are waking up, because if you don't wake up and the stuff comes out, you are going to be in pain. And what do I say about what do I mean about being in pain? Maybe not physical pain. Some of you might be in physical pain. Um, there are some things that will be coming out soon, and some in the near future. I know some people that might see this. They're probably more Democratic on that line than the Republicans, even probably more so the Democratic side. Just for the fact that you guys have been, I'll say we've all been duped for, I'll say for millennia, but it's felt like that long. Even our ancestors, generations of our ancestors have been duped. Um, we have been told certain things that aren't true. Things have been done to us, again, keeping us down, living in fear. Some people don't live in fear. And probably more so now. But again, I'm gonna try to progress these videos pretty quickly, because there's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening to try to keep you guys in fear that I kind of want to get to. But this is going to be part one. There's going to be, I don't know how many more parts are going to be before we really get current to where, this is supposed to be about my journey, how I got out of the Matrix. And this is really the whole virus kind of really has done it for me. I'm out. There are some things that they try to pull you back in. I'm out. They try to pull anybody back in who's getting out, who's out. But you got to just keep in mind that it's all to keep you down. I guess that's where I'll probably end up for now. End of part one. So I've got to edit a couple of these together, because little ones came in here, so I had to cut the video off. So I'll try to splice about 3-4 of these together, about 20-25 minutes worth. So not that long. I'll try to keep them pretty short, but I just want to say this again: turn off the news, turn off the TV. You'll be amazed of how much better you feel if you're not watching TV 24/7 or even the news. 2 days, just turn it off. Feel much better about yourself, about life. Go outside. Again, I'll get back into this, because I know I hit on a couple things. So back when I made a comment about when this came out, the virus came out, they didn't tell you how to build your immune system. The easiest way to build your immune system, guess what? Go outside, get some sun, enjoy the earth. Because some people don't realize that apparently when you get sun, and you can get the rays from the sun, that's part of healing. And there's other videos out there that get more in depth into this, and your body needs the sun, needs the air. Take off the mask, breathe that fresh air. If you've been wearing a mask and you're worried about your health, if you're feeling bad, you're feeling bad, to go outside. Sun's out, go get fresh air, breathe. Take 30 minutes, go outside, walk around. If you don't have an area you can walk around, go to the park, go to the store. I know some stores don't have a mask mandate. If they do, don't wear your mask, go in. That's fear. They want you to be fearful of going into a store. I have not ever once wore a mask to go into a store. Some people might call you out, but guess what? I went to Target the other day with my wife and our kids, and they said, "Hey, you need a mask?" I'm like, "Nope, sorry, I'm good." There was an older lady in front of me. She was probably in her 70s, 80s. She walked in without a mask. They asked her about them. Say, "Hey, do you want a mask?" And she said, "No, thank you," and kept walking. Not every Target's like that. A lot of the people who are at the front door, I feel for them. They need a job, but I'm not going to hurt my body to make other people happy. I'm just not doing it. And it's not going to save anybody for me not wearing a mask. If we're all wearing a mask, guess what? What's the point? If one person wearing a mask, I'm not wearing a mask, fine. Hey, that's your choice. But I will say this before I end this video. If anybody who's watching my video has kids, and you have put masks on your kids, and I know I have family members who have done this, take the mask off your kids, because guess what? You're doing nothing but hurting them. Any truthful doctor will tell you that you're hurting their immune system. And I'm not saying this to blow anybody, because again, they're keeping people in fear, and I want you guys to be fearful, because guess what? It's just take the mask off. You'll be amazed how much better you feel, because I know I'm sure some of you who have kids and put the mask on your kids don't want to do it, but because they have instilled the fear from the virus in you, that's why you have put the mask on your kids. Especially, I know people who live in Florida that I've grown up with. They've got kids, and you see pictures on Facebook with the kids on masks. Some of these kids are probably, less than 10. Some kids are even 3 or 4 years old, which is crazy. I even saw a video of kids that were over in, I want to say Australia, overseas somewhere. Brand new newborn kids had a mask on their face. It wasn't a mask over their mouth. It was one of those clear masks over your face. Kids and the babies were screaming. And really, come on, guys, use your common sense. They're instilling fear. Get rid of the fear. Come out of the shell. Come out of the matrix. Because again, we are in the matrix. And I'll see if I can find a clip in the movie The Matrix when Neo takes the red pill. Morpheus takes him out into the world. Takes him out on, I can't exactly, I'll have to pull the video back up, but I want to say it was like the New York street where you got all these businessmen walking on the streets, and they're walking opposite of the direction of where everybody's walking. And Neo looks at there's a woman in the red, and he looks at the woman in red. And Morpheus says, "Were you paying attention?" And he said, and Neo was like, and he said, "Where are you looking at the woman in red?" And he said, people don't want to look. People don't want to open their minds. You've got to get rid of your ego. Everything that you've been told that you think you don't know. Been there, done that. Like I said, I've always asked questions, but there's also times where I have been, I won't say submissive, but I have been one of those people who just keep their head down and go. What do people do? Cell phones came out. What are you guys doing? Your heads are down. You're on your phone. Get off your phones. We have, since this happened, we have, of course, we do our research because it's easier to do research on your phone, but it's also easier to do research on your TV, YouTube. A lot of people have those TVs that have, internet on your TVs now. Either way, put down the phones, turn off the news. If you want to get real news without having fear instilled in you, there is One American News Network. That's good. There is the Golden State Times, I think is what it is. There's a couple others, but I can't think of them right now. So I'll try to post them below and give you guys some links to some places you can go and get the news that's not going to be instilling fear, and actually give you the truth of things that are happening. And I will, in my next video, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so that's where I end up in this video. I know it might be over about 25-30 minutes now. I'll see if I can kind of cut some stuff out just so I can keep them short. But yeah, like I said, turn off the news. So this is part one of getting out of the matrix. My path to really seeing the light, awakening, because there is a great awakening coming up and going on right now. Hopefully you're a part of it, and hopefully the last couple weeks, last couple months, you guys have opened up and you can see things aren't really what they appear to be. And you can see stuff around the world that's going on right now. The fires, um, the Biden campaigns, just you guys really need to open your eyes. But we'll get into some more stuff. I'm gonna try to get some different video editing stuff going on, and see if we can do some different videos here that I can pull some stuff up on my computer. You guys can see it. So bear with me. We'll see how it goes from the next video. Hopefully it won't be a week and a half before my next one. So hopefully it'll be next day or two. Once I can get this edited, once everybody goes to sleep, I can hopefully do this tonight, and we'll go from there. But yeah, so again, haven't seen many questions down in the comments box. So again, if you guys have questions, anything you guys want to talk about, I can stop what I'm talking about. We can talk about other stuff. I can bring it up. So, but yeah, yeah. So why ask why? Stay tuned. Find out to the next episode. Thanks, guys.